I'm trying to do a video of a video. It's going to be a little bit interesting. So there's Montana. I wanted to just share what I figured out about this location. So that is the Bob Marshall Wilderness, and then that is the confluence of two rivers. I wanted to just show you this is the compass. So when I flip the map around and red points down, that means south is up. But if the compass shows red pointing up, then north is up, top part. So anyway, we'll keep it normal, north is up. So I wanted to share, this is the confluence of the Flathead River and the White River. This is the South Fork of the Flathead River. And this is the area where the 408 is. They're located right about there. That's the base camp. And this is sort of the top of the White River. And I just wanted to show you what I figured out about the whole trip in. So this is the confluence. This is going down river. We're looking down river all the way to the start of the Horsepack Inn, which is all the way down here. Are we there yet? There it is. That's where you drive into. There's a little bridge right there. People cross on horseback on that bridge. And I followed the trails. I'm going to flip the map around so we can look up river. So, because this is going to be heading south up river. So now we're looking towards the south, towards an up river, up the Flathead. The parking is there. The trails are all the way along this ridge, all the way up. That's where the horse trails are. And the river is just damn beautiful. This is a satellite map, by the way, so when it comes into focus every once in a while, you really are looking at, you know, what this river looks like on a satellite. And when it kind of gives you more deep resolution, you can see it's a really nice river. I'm sure, like, there's good fishing everywhere. But this is the main stem of the Flathead. I don't know how much fishing happens right there. I guess, anyway, this is where the horse trail is when you're heading upriver. I found all of the trails. I guess at this moment I just can't find them because they're so small. But basically I was able to like zoom in like this and see exactly where this trail goes. It's kind of like thin forest, you know? Anyway, looking all the way to the south, okay, south upriver, we're going to start heading down back to the confluence. Remember the place we started where the Flathead and the White River come together? And it's a long ways down. In fact, I think it's way up here at the top. That's not it. It's way up here at the top of the screen somewhere. Is that it? No, it's all the way over there, man. It's a long ways. Long ways. Right there is the where we're heading to. That's where the base camp is. And the base camp has been there for 80 years. That's the Flathead, the South Fork of the Flathead right there. And this is called Holbrook River. And I noticed there's a little green patch right about where I'm pointing. That little green patch is where this Holbrook camp is. And that's that base camp they're talking about. I found it all out on their website. So what I did was I found that little patch of green right there, zoomed in on it, and when it comes into high resolution, you can see a little white cabin. That is the only structure there that's year-round. Here's where the horses are kept in a pen at night. And then this is where they put the tents up. The tents are not up right now, but I know that that's the Holbrook cabin, and that's where 406 is based for 80 years. And that's his Holbrook Creek. When they were talking about this pontoon trip, it basically, they take you up river, up the South Fork, and then you come down this South Fork. And I'll go all the way up to where they start. They start up way at, can't remember the name of the river. Is this it? Oh, that's I think it's Burnt Creek. Let's move on down. Dempsey, is it? No, Bartlett. We're looking for Bartlett. It's a fairly big creek, so there it is. That's Bartlett Creek. And also there's this ranger station down here. It's like the only. It's the town. That's not it. I think it's down. I just wanted to show it to you because it's interesting that there are some other structures in here. Do. No, that's not it. There. Yeah, that looks like it. No, that's not it. There it is. This is over there. There it is. So this is downtown South Fork of the Flathead River. That is a ranger station. If you get really bored, that's where we can go. Alrighty then. So then back to Bartlett Creek right there. And this is a great place to take a pontoon because the river, I'm going to zoom in on the river. It is just like perfect. It's a long ways all the way to back to base camp. It's a nice long drift. And I'm going to zoom in on the river so you can see what it would be like to be on that river. It's not technical, it's just float downstream pretty much, but there's lots of fishing spots. There's very few obstructions. There's some logs you have to look out for, but pretty much you can be a beginner on a river like this and not get into trouble as long as you just are looking out for log jams like that and just stay in the middle of the river when you're going down river. Typically, if you want to be safe, you don't fish while you're floating. You fish when you're anchored or when you're waiting. Anyway, that's like a nice flat little area to fish from, wade in. Anyway, it's one beautiful looking river, and that's like a 3 mile, maybe it's a 5 mile, I don't know, drift in pontoons. I would be psyched to do that twice. I think that would be just such a nice spot. Then and it's a long ways. Like actually base camp is like way over there. So look at all this river you cover all the way to there. So going back, that's that group of trees where Holbrook Camp is. Where that, you can see the white cabin. And then the other groups that don't have a base camp, they basically would take you up that Flathead to the White River. And this is now turned around, so this is the South Fork. That's heading east right there up the White River, which is going higher up in elevation, fairly steep, and it's more white water. It's a smaller river. It would be great to fish it, but I wouldn't want a pontoon boat on that one if I were a beginner. Just because it's faster water, a lot more turns and twists, probably, and a bunch more rapids, and even water, a couple of like little rapids that you drop off of. But oh man, it would be great to fish on that. And then looking all the way up, you can see a confluence right there. That's the confluence between the White River, probably like South Fork and North Fork of the White River. I'm not sure what it's called. But that little green grass right there, I'm going to zoom in on that. That is just a place to tie up a lot of, like 20 or 30 horses. So I imagine that, these groups come up here with whatever, 5 to 10 horses, or maybe more. And they need a place to drop off the horses while they're setting everything up. So right here, I noticed a place to tie up a lot of horses. There's no structures here. There's basically just logs that are, a tie-up post for a lot of horses. So then they probably tie them up there, and then somebody else takes them all down river while everybody else. And then you probably need a lot of pack animals to pack in all the rafts and things. So if you look, there's some white water up here. I mean, I would definitely not go on that without a guide. And then this is going back down the White River. All the way back down to well, there's the White River, there's the confluence of the White River joining into the Flathead, South Fork of the Flathead, and then that's the Flathead main stem heading north back to the starting point. So when you leave base camp on the last day, you know, it's 25 miles hiking out. I have to say I really like the idea of having a base camp, and I do see that you can get to all these great fishing holes and you have some freedom. You can choose to go back, back down to the South Fork or the White River or maybe the main stem. This is heading back down river all the way to the starting point, which I think is like, is that it? Yeah, there it is. So there you go, virtual tour